are there in Tableau. So one of the topic that we have in Tableau and is very much important is grouping. So basically what we understand by the term grouping in a normal way, when we talk about groups or when we talk about like we are creating group. So let's say in an organization, if you are working, okay, and you've been assigned some task and you are working in a you will be working either individually or you will be working in a group. So in a similar way, the in your Tableau also, we can basically group the data. So what is grouping? Like as I said that in organization, if you are grouped together, that means you are working in a same team, but in multiple groups. Let's say group A, group B, group C, like the way we used to have competitions in school and all of that. Similarly, here in Tableau also, if let's say I want to combine some of the members together into a single dimension, so that rather than stating them differently, I might give them a group. So then that is called as a grouping. So Tableau group is nothing, but it is a collection of multiple members in a single dimension. As I mentioned, that is combined to form a higher category. So for example, in this case, like we have a category. So this is something in category where we have basically the what we basically have is that we have a category over here, and here we can see, like if I open the sheet up and I bring the category over here. So it has three categories: furniture, office supplies, and technologies. Okay. Now let's suppose I want to make furniture and office supplies as in one group and technology as in other group. So furniture and office supplies should be in one group. Why? Because because office suppliers will also have furnitures in them. So that's why I want to combine them into a one group, and I want to keep the technology as a separate entity by itself. So how we can do that, or how we can make it? So let's see that in Tableau, how we can do that. So if you right click over here, you will see an option of create and you will see an option of group. So like this. Now you can combine of furniture and office supplies, as I said, into, you select these and you click on group. So as soon as you do this, it creates a name for you, which will say furniture and office supplies. So either if you want, you can just keep this name as is, or, and you can select on OK. And by default, it will have category group. Or if you want to rename these group, so you can select these and you can rename this group as well. Like you can give it as a furniture group and just click on OK. And it will edit your group name. So this group name got edited. But if you want to edit the field name and you want to give it as for the furniture type or furniture categories, then you can do that. So this is how your group is created. Now, when I bring this, you will see it comes under furniture group and the respective value again. So if now let's say I bring the profit over here, so you will able to see the profit that for the furniture category, furniture group, for the category furniture, I have a profit of 18,451. Similarly, for this category, I have a profit of 1,22,491. Similarly, for my technology, I have 1,45,455. So this is how we actually work with the Tableau group. Now, Tableau group allows a single dimension member to be grouped together and automatically create a new dimension with Tableau group to get grouped together. Basically, what it allows is that it allows a single dimension member to be grouped together. So as you can see, there was a single dimension member when we were grouping over here. If I open this, I edit this group, you see it was a single dimension member. Furniture was a single dimension member. Office supplies was a single dimension member. Now they help to combine the single dimension member to a group to group together. Automatically, we grouped it together, right? And creates a new dimension with a Tableau group at the end of the name. So it creates a new dimension with a Tableau group as always. Now, if you want to ungroup it, you can simply ungroup that. And you can apply and you can click on OK. Now this has been ungrouped. Okay. So basically, Tableau doesn't make any adjustments with the original member. So in this case, my original member was category. So it doesn't make any adjustment to the original dimension members. They was remain as it is. It actually created a new column completely for the category part. Okay. So that's what we basically do. So whereas it is a set process of combining, so standard dimensions filters are basically used when we apply for for any of the category type of a grouping. So we always use the standard dimension filters. We never use or create complex dimension filters because we are not able to apply the complex dimension filters to any of the grouping data when we are doing it. We can only apply a simple yet very simple process of Tableau groups, or we can add some Tableau groups with a very simple filtering process, wherein end user can filter according to the Tableau group in the same way that we use as in for the dimension. So the filtering process in Tableau remains as is. For example, if let's say I have this furniture category and I again regroup this. And let's suppose I want to apply it as a filter this time. So we'll see if I apply this over here. And I click on OK. Let's make a chart out of this. And let's show the filter for it. So let's say this time, if I click on furniture and office supply, so it will only show me for the category of furniture and office supply, wherein in the category, you will see the details for furniture and you will see the details for office supplies. So that's what it is, that end user can filter using Tableau group in the same way that we use for dimensions. So rather than applying a filter, a normal filter of any dimensions, what we can do is that we can actually create like a very simple but yet a very leveraged type of a category in Tableau, basically. That's what we say. Okay. So that is what we call as about your Tableau categories, or what we talk about Tableau category system in all. So I hope that's clear with everyone, that how we can group two columns or two data together. Now question comes in where it is beneficial. For example, whenever you want to combine two columns together, or maybe have a group of the data together so that you can bifurcate as group A, group B, group C, then in that case, the grouping is very much important and is very much helpful as well. Okay. So that's how it works, like for the grouping system or any of that purpose. Got it? So that is what we say as a group. Now let's come back to the next one. Now let's talk about the next topic, which is our hierarchies. Now, what is a hierarchy? So basically, whenever we talk about mathematics, we talk about any political, any organizational theory, or we talk about any data visualization, hierarchy is basically a very important and very common column which is used. So hierarchies are basically arranging your data or structuring your data by the way by which the data can be structured in an organized way, a more organized way. So there will be some hierarchy. Hierarchy, for example, if I talk about an organization, so obviously in organizations, there are some hierarchies that are in place. For example, like let's say if you are working in an organization, so in that organization also, if you are as a consultant, so obviously you are one of a member in the member in a team. You will be reporting to your manager will be reporting to a senior manager might be reporting to a maybe an a senior manager will be reporting to an AVP, then AVP will be reporting to a VP, then VP will be reporting to maybe the director. So this is what? This is in hierarchy, wherein there is each and every level, and each and every level has its own responsibilities and KPIs to complete for. Obviously, your KPI, your work will be pretty different from your maybe from the VP or the AVP, because VPs and AVPs are more into the business front, and you will be more into the technical work stuff while creating or developing the thing. So you will be on more of the operational side, on working, on providing the outputs, on generally working on the technologies, whereas your AVPs or VPs are more engaged with the business. Their job is to bring the business, to understand the gist of the business, to bring the clients so that you can provide them the work. Okay. So this is a hierarchy which is followed in an organization. Similarly, whenever you bring a data, or I'm not talking about only Tableau, but whenever there is a data in any which ways, in any of the tool or any of the table, there will always be an hierarchy that how the data process. So for example, if I talk about country, okay, so country will have your city, state, then it will have the city, it will have its own states. Under that states, it will have some areas or regions to be there. So there will be region, there will be city, there will be some region across, there will be some states. And finally, if they will have any sub categories of cities or maybe some small cities inside them. So this is how the hierarchy of a country develops. Like a country comes in, then in that country there will be some regions across, then in that region there will be some cities, and then some states, and then there will be some cities. Like this way hierarchy goes on. So or it will be like your country, your city, your state, and your region. Like this way also hierarchy works on. So this is how basically your hierarchy is composed. Now, when I talk about the hierarchical data visualization, basically this hierarchy data visualization is used in your business intelligence and in the data analytics to show that how certain items or how the data is ranked in a system. So like the way I told you, like the way I told you in an organization, you are at a lower level. So your higher level will be your manager. Then another higher level will be your then the senior maybe AVP. Then it will be VP and director. So director is the top level, which will be ranked as 1. Then your VP, that will be ranked as 2. Then AVP, which will be ranked as 3. Then your manager, which will be ranked as 4, and then you, which will be ranked as 5. So this is how the hierarchy follows, which is highest to lowest or lowest to highest, as ever you want to see. But there will be some ranking in place or a ranking in a system. So the level-wise configuration is represented in a hierarchy. It will be like of a tree structure. So there will be a tree structure always. That okay, like if this is the if somebody is a VP, so under a VP, what are the different types of AVPs? That maybe director is there. There will be one director for sure. Okay, under a single director, there will be multiple VPs across. Okay, when there are multiple VPs, so under each VP there will be an AVP also. there can be, and it would not be that there can be a single AVP, there can be multiple AVPs as well. So under multiple AVPs, there will be multiple managers as well. Okay, and under multiple managers, there will be multiple people reporting to them. So this is how it works. So that's why it says that it's a tree structure, wherein one person, which is your director, is on the top level and he is the head of that tree and he is controlling everything around. So that's why we called it as a tree structure or a hierarchy structure at a time. Okay. So data with relationships can be used to create a hierarchy in Tableau. Data which have a relationship with each other. For example, if they have any relationship, then only. So if your manager is someone else, okay, and your manager is someone else whose name is XYZ, and there is one AVP whose name is maybe AB, whose name is something of something as Manish or someone. So then obviously there's a different team. You will be reporting to your manager will be reporting to a person who is basically working for a similar project. So if you guys are boarded for one single project, let's say any of the healthcare domain project you guys are working for, so whosoever are working for that project, they will be accumulated in a one team and they will be categorized as having a relationship. Now, what is the relationship between them? That they all work with the same project and they all work under the same client or with the same service center. So that's why we say that in a hierarchy, we should always have a relationship, then only a hierarchy can be created. Similarly, when we need to perform some structures or related data grouping or any of the things or hierarchy field levels, for example, when we have a geographical hierarchy, for example, then at that point of time also, we can create a geographical hierarchy like of a country, city, state, city, state, region, any of these things. So that will be termed as a geographical hierarchy for us. Whereas there can be different levels where it is country, state, city, and area. Then there will be time hierarchy also. Time hierarchy on the other hand will have a different level. It will have year, month, week, and day. So there are always different hierarchies depending on what type of hierarchy you want to define for, what type of hierarchy you want to see for, or what type of hierarchy you are looking for. If you are looking for a geographical hierarchy, then it will be region, country, state, city, and area. But if it will be a time hierarchy, then in that case, it will be year, month, week, and day. And basically, you will set like the data on different levels and on different details to basically organize that data together and to look for that. That's what the importance or a gist of hierarchy is. Okay. So let's say how we create a hierarchy. Hierarchy is pretty simple to create. Let's say I have this country over here. So if you see, there is a hierarchy already created, pre-created. And if I just open this, I can see region, city, country, all of them. Let's say I say remove hierarchy. So now you can see country, city, and region as a separate entity. Now let's say I want to create an hierarchy. So how I can create an hierarchy? Let's say I take region. I have right click on it. I'll go to hierarchy and I'll say create hierarchy. I'll say okay. There's a hierarchy which is created. Now, once you create that, you can bring country, or you can just right click and you can just say add to hierarchy. Just right click and just say add to hierarchy. Here also right click, add to hierarchy region. Now, if we have state, we can add up that as well. Add to hierarchy region. So now if you see, a hierarchy of region is created for me where I have region, country, city, and state. So as I created this, what it will help me for? It will help me for nothing. But if let's say, if I bring this hierarchy itself as one of a column in my data set, and for each of the region, I want to see the profit, then it is more easy to see. Now, as I have created the hierarchy over here, what benefit it will provide me? Nothing. It will provide, so what benefit it will basically provide? You see this plus sign. So this is a signature of hierarchy that it has, the data has in hierarchy, and you can go to more deeper level. That means you can drill down the data more or drill down the data to a very better data set. Okay. So let's say I want to drill down the data to over here. So I click over region. So see, it's just split. From here, it splits to more. From here, it splits to more granular. So here, what I see is that I can see some basic details that my data is getting split across. So this is my profit. These are getting split across. And if let's say I want to remove profit and based on quantity, I want to see also. So this is how it looks like. So this is what we basically see that yes, according to this, I can see like some average quantity based on that city, region, and state. Now, if you just close this, if you just click on this -1, it will again bring back your data to the initial stage of the hierarchy where it was started. And if you see over here, there is a sign also that it is a tree like a structure. Okay, like a tree like a structure has been created. So this is a symbol of hierarchy. As I told you also that in hierarchy, we always see a tree like of a structure as well. Okay, so this is a point of hierarchy. Similarly, if you want to create something related to time or something of that sort, then in that case, we need to have an order date, and based on the order date, we need to find the month, we need to find the year, we need to find the week, we need to find the date, and based on that, there can be hierarchies that can be created for the date as well. So let's see if we can create something. Let's see if we can create an hierarchy for year. For order dates. And let's just again take the order date. Let's create for month. Now for week. Order date. Now for your day of another date. day, and breakfast. So I have everything. Now, let's create the hierarchy for order date. There's a hierarchy created. Now, let me add that up. Let's search for the year. Where is it? Year. Yeah, there it goes. And we'll say order date. Then we'll add month. Order date. Then we'll add the week. There is our week. We'll add it to the hierarchy. And finally, the date. Yes. So now you have a hierarchy for an order date. So let's say I bring the order date. Based on this date, I want to show my profit ratio. I want to show my profit ratio. And I'll probably bring it, okay, let it be in a form of a line only. And I'll probably swap that for you like this. So now, if you see over here, when I make the order date, I bring it to, okay, let me bring this over here to remove here. Now, when I make that year, you can see that it has split for year. Similarly, when I make it more, it is split for the month. When I go ahead more, it's split for the week, and then it's split for the day. So it gives you the detail of each and every of the thing. Like if you want to see for the days, if you want to see for the week, for the month, for the year, it will show you everything. Now, if let's suppose I just put the order date over here as a filter, and I take like this, just for the year. Now, if I want to filter it for a particular year, see, my data is over here and I can see for that filter. Now, from here, if I just try to close it, so finally, this is my order date, and for this, but only for the year 2020, I'm seeing my profit ratio. So this is how my data works. And now if you want to swap it also, you can swap it. Or probably I don't want to see for the date. Probably I want to see for the year. Then I can just get for the year and I can hide that one. I can just simply say, don't show headers. So it will simply be for the year one, like this one. Okay, so basically that's one of a method to drill down your data as well. That's one of a basic method to drill down the data as well. So this is called as the hierarchy. Okay. Now, coming back to one of the most important and another interesting topic, which is your sets. So there is something called as Tableau set. Now, what is set? We did about groups, that we are grouping two columns together or two groups together or maybe two categories together. We learned about hierarchies that based on any of the data grouping or field, we can do a group. Now here we do a Tableau set. Now what are Tableau sets? Tableau sets are nothing but they are the custom fields that used to keep a subset of the data based on a condition. So based on any condition, you can create a Tableau set. Now, what are those conditions can be? For example, in a real time, when you're selecting a member from a list or from a visualization, you can do same thing by writing a custom condition or just selecting few records. For example, when I want to just find out what are the top or what are the bottom measures from the complete set of the records, let's say if I am seeing the for each of the state, I'm seeing for what are the records or what are everything that comes up in a data. So in that case, basically, if I want to see, okay, what are the top performing countries for which I want to see the sales across, or I want to look for the profit across. So in that case, my Tableau sets comes into a great picture because that I would likely to reduce the data, compress it just for the top and the bottom categorization. So user will have a basic filter type of a thing where the person will categorize for the top and the bottom, and very similarly, it will be done and it will work for it. So that is what we called about the Tableau set. So in a real-time selection, it is very much important and it can do a great wonders. So you can do the same thing, or you can create a Tableau set and you can use that subset of the data basically based on user-defined conditions. So you can have any user-defined condition and you can define those conditions. For example, for an instance, I would say that let's say you have a Tableau set could be created on something of the top 10 customers who have the highest sales, like the way I told you. So then you will have a Tableau set which will help you to control your aspect or analysis based on if you want to see for the top 10 performing customers only in that particular worksheet. That's what we remember for a set in that case. Okay. So that's how sets are created and that's how sets are basically made. Now, how we create a set? Let's see. Let's say I want to, let me just create a set for a new set. Let's say I have these product names and I want to create a set for this product. I right click on it and I'll say set. Let's say I select maybe not this one, but the names having #10 written. I select this and I name it as #10 product set. Yeah, so I took this first and created as a hashtag product set. Once I do it, I'll click on OK. So this is a 10 product set. Now, let's say if you bring this, like if you bring up, now I bring the product name across and I'll bring my quantity across. Now take the sum, I might be taking an average like this way. And I am going to bring over here what my 10 product category. So see, as soon as I bring my 10 product category in the filter, it only showed me for the filters that I have filtered for. Automatically, the product name compressed to only those filters for which my set was created. So that's how this set basically works. That for whatever data, for whatever categories, for whatever results you want to work for, it will simply work on that way. So it will only show you that respective value, what you are looking for, what you are expecting for an M data. Now, if you want to change it, it's probably a chart or maybe a side chart or maybe anything, like probably anything. So then you can see it out. So that's how basically everything on that front is created and it worked also. So that's what we called about a set. Okay. And that's what we work on with the set. So this is how we work with a set, and this is how we combine it. So sets are mostly useful when we actually work with the data. Okay, when we actually work with the data, when we actually work with your data sets and actually set of it. Okay, so then in that case, we always use a set in that to work with it. Got it? So this is how we basically work with the sets. So sets basically help you to reduce your work, basically help you to reduce the task, basically help you with a filtering of the data more in a more unique way, in a more better way, so that you can better in a very better way and in a very better sense, you can just have a quick response to the data. So as soon as I give a product name, otherwise what used to happen is that I have to take the product name over here in the filters, and I have to see now it shows a custom value list. So if let's say I want to show, so see these topics are only included. So let's say if I remove this for now, it will show me the complete data set. Now, if let's say I want to bring it over here, then I have to manually go and select from here. I have to select null, then I have to find out for those hash numbers, and then probably I would able to get those selections and I can apply those ones. So this basically happens. But to reduce that time and to make it more efficient in a way, it just shows me like that way. That is good to go. So it's perfectly fine. It looks perfectly fine. It works perfectly fine. So that's how we basically work with a set, we work with the data, and we work with all of them. So these are just the gist of the sets. Now, if I talk about looking for the sets or for making data or for creations of the data, so in that case, they are very much helpful. Okay, to reduce and to protect the set. In fact, if let's suppose you have any hash, any values, and you want to remove them from your data set, so what you can do is that you can just create a set out of that, and you can just exclude the hashes. So you will have only the required values, wherein you won't have any hash any's or anything over it. So then it will be perfectly and better, much better view to see for. Okay. So I hope that